I get asked a lot, was it worse in the 60s and 70s? It was worse, right? And no. No, it wasn't. It wasn't worse. This is a midterm election, and yet it's the most important election that I have ever lived through. If we don't take back at least the House, we're in even more trouble than we are now. We have to do this. And it's very important that everybody understands to vote down ticket. We got to, sheriff, district attorney, the state representatives, because if we can turn out in large numbers and bring unlikely voters to the polls, then when we elect those Democrats, they're going to know that they're beholden to us. And when we call them, which we beg you to do, call your representatives after the election and tell them that you will not tolerate their amending or repealing the one fair wage that they took off the ballot. This is a really big thing. And so I want to introduce a woman who has become a friend of mine. She is a co-founder of Black Lives Matter. She is a performing artist. She is the author of an autobiography called When They Call You a Terrorist, which is an awesome book. I'd like you to meet Patrisse Cullors.
Good morning, Ann Arbor. How are folks feeling? Having your breakfast interrupted by a bunch of troublemakers? I'm so grateful that Saru and Jane asked me to come up to Michigan. This is one of my favorite places. I actually spent some time in Kalamazoo. Got to learn a lot about this state, a lot about the different cities, and I just want to talk a little bit about why Black Lives Matter supports these efforts. I think over the last 5 years, Black Lives Matter has been on the front lines of really changing the debate and the conversation about racial justice in this country and also around the world. We've challenged, right, the idea that we live in a colorblind country, and now, given these last 2 years, we know way better than that. We know that we live in a country that is really steeped in racism, homophobia, sexism, patriarchy, and the work of Black Lives Matter has been trying to undo that. The systems, our individual relationships, and I think this particular bill really challenges our idea of who's deserving, and what do they deserve. And we live in a country, unfortunately, that has built its foundation on who's inferior and who's superior. And so in these efforts to challenge the state, to challenge our local governments, and to make sure that this bill in particular isn't gutted, it's going to take everybody in this room. It's going to take all of our work. It's going to take all of our love, all of our commitment. I hope that after today, you go back home. You talk to your family members. Wherever you work, you talk to your fellow coworkers. You go on your social media and you say, make sure that this bill, the one fair wage bill, is not gutted in Michigan. Let's make Michigan be the place that sets a precedent for the rest of the country.